Hey everybody, Paul Yokobitis from Cary Estate Planning back with another video as part of our 2020 challenge. It's becoming a little bit of a theme that I do these on my walks each day now, so might as well keep going with that. Today I wanted to talk about the resource caps for SSI and Medicaid and representative payee accounts and ABLE accounts and how they interact and how they should be treated when it comes to accountability, when it comes to management of cash and SSI checks and that sort of thing. So generally speaking, SSI and Medicaid are sort of unified or joint programs. Medicaid North Carolina relies on SSI eligibility a lot of the time. There are independent basis for Medicaid eligibility, but it's a lot more common for someone to be Medicaid eligible because of their SSI eligibility. And so under both of those programs, the resource cap, i.e. the amount of countable assets that a person can have and still be eligible for those programs, is capped at $2,000. So a lot of times that's going to be cash, investments, or other things that can be that are either over and above basic support, like one home and one car, or could be converted to cash quickly, like investments. And so the that rule generally applies most often to cash accounts. And so the question arises, okay, if we have SSI coming in on a monthly basis and we're not using all of it, what do we do? And then how do we, deposit those sorts of accounts or checks into an account when we're utilizing representative payee if the disabled person can't coordinate their own financial affairs? So generally speaking, if you're not using your SSI every month, through expenses and your support and maintenance and those sorts of things, it can start to accumulate. And the cap applies to normal bank accounts like checkings or savings, but it also applies to representative payee accounts. So some parents provide more support than others, and so the SSI amount doesn't get spent out on every day. So generally speaking, because that resource cap applies to representative payee accounts, it can often be advantageous to utilize an ABLE account as sort of a spillover or a sweep account to make sure that if the representative payee account gets too high, you can just transfer the balance into the ABLE account and shelter it, keeping the rep payee account below $2,000. So the interplay is generally that you would utilize those two types of accounts for different purposes. You would want to deposit the SSI checks into the representative payee account so that the parent or other representative payee can utilize those funds for the support of the child, but utilize the ABLE only when necessary. And that's because there's generally not a payback recourse against representative payee accounts or traditional savings accounts like there are with ABLE accounts. And that's because of just the nature of the way the accounts are set up. So you generally want to minimize the amount of money that's going into ABLE if at all possible, and only use ABLE only when absolutely needed. So what that looks like is going to be really unique for everybody because everybody's expenses and needs and SSI amounts are different. So if you want to discuss those different nuances as they pertain to your family, we'd be happy to get on a call with you. This is Paul from Cary Estate Planning.